the SBL pre-scene document. Really critical document for you if you're going to pass SBL. And in this video, I'm going to give you some advice about what to do with it, because lots of students fall into traps and they waste time and they do things that are actually harmful for their chances of passing. Don't let that be you. With this recording and the advice in here, I'm going to tell you what you absolutely must do with it and things you really shouldn't. First thing you must do is read it thoroughly yourself. Not using any AI or anything like that. You sitting down quietly, calmly and reading it. And ideally, you're reading it actively. And that means you're making notes as you are reading the pre-scene document. You might be noting key facts, highlighting, but really thinking as you are reading the document. It's not that long, 10, maybe 12 pages. There's not that much in it. You can read it easily in 45 minutes. So slowly, calmly reading through it for yourself before anyone else tells you anything about it, so you can form your own impression of the company. Next, you must do your own analysis of the pre-scene. That means things like a SWOT, a PESTEL, a Porter's 5 Forces, a bit of a financial review of any numbers that you're given. Doing these analysis pieces for yourself rather than reading someone else's or watching a video on YouTube, doing it for yourself means that you start to really understand the case study, the industry, the challenges that the company are facing. Doing your own analysis is absolutely critical because it helps you to understand the business. It's about process. It's not about the output, the having a lovely SWOT or a PESTEL or a 5 Forces in your file doesn't help you at all. But doing them means that you get a better understanding. And that means that in the exam, when they ask you something unusual, a twist, something unexpected, you are more able to deal with it because you know the company better. I'd advise you to discuss your pre-scene with other students. Particularly if you can get a study buddy or if you're on a course with a tutor where they facilitate you speaking to other students, really good for you to chat about it. That helps you to really live the case study. Now, if you can't talk to other students about it, you haven't got anyone to speak to, a good idea is to really try to involve yourself in the industry. So if it's a retailer, for example, they sell shoes, that's one we've had in the past, go shoe shopping. Go and talk to people that work in shoe shops and try and understand the challenges that are being faced in that industry. Really living and breathing your case study helps you, again, to get wider understanding so that you're better able to deal with whatever they throw with you on exam day. Next thing to do is to memorize key facts about the case study and the industry. If they tell you things like their cash balance, or they tell you things like the ownership structure, or a KPI like a target revenue growth or something like that that the business has. Nice, easy facts. I would memorize them. Maybe there might be 10 or 12 across the whole case study document, the pre-scene document. Not that many, but it's worth committing them to memory so that in the exam, they're right there at the forefront of your mind so that if they are relevant for you to use to support whatever you are saying in your case study answer, then you haven't got to go looking those things up. You've got them memorized so they're ready for you to use. Now for the things you must avoid doing, the things you don't do with the pre-scene. And the first of those is memorizing the whole thing. Now, I've just said it's a good idea to learn a few key facts, maybe 10 or 12, but there's no point memorizing the entire document. It's not worth it. Rote learning in that way and forming too pre-formed an idea of the case and the industry by learning the whole thing means that you're less likely to react to what you're told on exam day. And in the exam, you will be given brand new information an update to what's going on with the company, fresh challenges that they're facing that weren't in the pre-scene document. And if you have too fixed a mindset because you've memorized the pre-scene, then it sometimes means that students don't respond or react as well to the new information. So don't learn the whole thing. It's not worth it. Next, avoid question spotting too much. Now, this is slightly dangerous ground, but it can be helpful to have a think about what could come up in the exam. Recently, one of the case studies was a business that was moving potentially into franchising. So seeing that there were some hints about it in the pre-scene document. And so it's worth having a think about franchising and reading around it so you are ready for the exam. That's helpful. But if you form too definite an idea of what the business should do, they must not franchise, it's a terrible idea for this company for these reasons, and I pre-prepared that in advance, then you might not react to what they tell you on the day. And on the day of the exam, quite often the details they give you, the update, changes things dramatically for the organization. So what might have been a bad idea based on the pre-scene could be a good idea based on what we're told in the update because the situation has changed. So don't form too strong an idea of the details of what's going to happen in the exam. And if you're studying with a training provider like Club SBL, where we write mock exams based on your actual case study, we do 2 of those, then you've got to be careful because it's helpful to prepare around what might come up. And it really helps. Students really value it. But you have to be careful that the details that are in our mock exams will be different to what comes up in the real exam. And we've made them up. They aren't things that you can quote in the real exam. So if your training provider is high-end like Club SBL and you are getting bespoke mocks based on your actual case study pre-scene document, be careful because those are just practice exercises. They're not something for you to use in the real thing. Last of all, avoid ChatGPT or Claude or any other AI tool. Lots of students like to do things like, get ChatGPT to write me a summary of the pre-scene document, summarize and give me the 10 most important things out of it. And by doing that, ChatGPT or whatever AI it is really learns the case study. They really think about the case study. That AI tool is really growing and developing and would be really ready to sit the real exam, but it's not helping you as the student. You as a student, by doing your own analysis, you are then, synthesizing, processing, considering. You are doing activities that are helping you to get ready for the exam. So don't get AI to write your summaries for you. It really, really doesn't help. I would actively avoid using AI at all in your preparation for SBL. So I hope you found this guidance video useful with some good tips on things to do and don't do with the SBL pre-scene. And we're going to be releasing a load of videos around your actual pre-scene when it gets released 2 weeks before the exam. So make sure you follow us so that you get notified and get up to date with the latest about your case study.